Hi, in this particular chapter, we'll talk about the Cloud Profiler that is available in GCP. Now, Cloud Profiler can give you CPU as well as memory allocation information about your particular application. Now, this is based on which particular programming language you use. So, in this particular example, we'll be using a Node.js application to check the memory allocation. Now, since we'll be using a Node application, so the profile types that are available for Node application at this moment in time includes heap as well as wall time. So heap is basically the memory used by that particular application, whereas the wall time is the amount of time it took for that particular application to execute. Now, more information about these profile types are given in this particular page, so you can just check that out. So this particular link I will give in the description below. So let's start. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll need to create an instance, and within that instance, I need to run a node application. So let's do that. So let's go to our dashboard and let's go to our compute. So I already have an instance created. So let's SSH into this particular instance. So I've created a very simple node application. Let me just show that to you. So all that it does is it just does a set timeout and it calls this particular function and then it just returns. So now here the important thing to note is if you want to run this profiler, you need to run this particular piece of code. So in this particular piece of code, you define the name of your service as well as the version. And this is the service that will appear in your cloud profiler. Now the GitHub repo for this particular piece of code I'll give in the description below, so you can just check that out. So this is a very simple and a very basic application. So our primary intention is to just check whether the profiler works. So let's close this. And now all that I need to do is I just need to run this particular application. I'll just do a node index.js. And now all that I need to do is I just need to access my cloud profiler. To do that, let's go to the hamburger menu and you will find your cloud profiler underneath operations. So let's open this. Okay, so once you've opened your profiler, you need to select the correct service. So the service that we had set in our code was your service 14. So let's open this your service 14 and let's just verify whether it's your service 14. So if you go back to the code, you can see that it's basically your service 14 and the version number is 1.0.0. So you can select that as well. So underneath versions, you can select 1.0.0. And here you can see two things. You can see both the heap as well as the wall time. So because we are using a node application, these are the only two profile types that you can see. Now, if you're using Go, then you can see many other profile types. So it's based on which language you're using. You can see these profile types. So if you look at the heap function, you can see that this particular function is using this much memory. So let's just open this list. And here it tells you all the function and the corresponding memory that that particular function is using. So this will give you a good understanding of which particular function is taking up the maximum memory. And similarly, if you go to the wall time, and similarly, if you select the wall time, it will show you the time taken by each function. So if I again open this list, it will show that this particular heap function, which is part of my index.js, took this much amount of time. And for each particular function, it will show you how much time that particular function took. So this is a very important tool, especially if you are debugging or if you want to check for any memory leaks or something like that. Okay, so that is it for this lecture. Now, if you have any issues with this, please get in touch with me and I'll see you in the next chapter.